You've probably felt it before, the quiet, gnawing sensation that somehow, despite all your efforts, you're behind. Behind your friends, behind your colleagues, behind the version of yourself you imagined long ago. It whispers in the still moments, a subtle voice that questions, why am I not further along? Why am I not where I thought I'd be by now? And in the silence of your own mind, it can feel crushing, as though life is moving forward while you're left stuck, waiting, or worse, failing. But what if I told you that this feeling isn't a sign of failure at all? What if, in truth, it is proof that something extraordinary is happening beneath the surface, something invisible yet profoundly powerful? Most people, when they feel stuck, panic. They try harder. They push faster. They compare themselves to others and measure their worth against timelines that were never truly theirs to begin with. But the truth is, your sense of being behind is often not a reflection of reality. It is a reflection of transformation, a signal that you are in the middle of a profound shift that cannot be rushed, forced, or fully understood in real time. Think about it. A seed doesn't push its way out of the soil before it is ready. It doesn't hurry because the gardener is impatient. It rests beneath the surface, absorbing nutrients, building strength, and slowly preparing to burst forth into light. You are that seed, and what you are experiencing right now, the uncertainty, the frustration, the questioning, is the underground work. It is invisible to the world, but essential. Without this phase, the next chapter of your life, the one where alignment meets manifestation, cannot unfold. And yet, society teaches us the opposite. Society measures progress by what can be seen, quantified, and compared: promotions, possessions, milestones, and timelines. It tells us, you should be here by now. You should have done this, achieved that, fixed yourself. And when we inevitably fall short of these external markers, we internalize the judgment, believing something is wrong with us. But here's the paradox. The very moments that feel like delay, confusion, or stagnation are the moments where unseen internal recalibration is taking place. They are the moments that, in retrospect, you will look back on as the turning points, the quiet, uncelebrated prelude to a breakthrough. Imagine standing on a shoreline, watching a storm brew over the horizon. At first, it feels menacing, unpredictable, even frightening. You might wish the storm away, wish the clouds to part, or wish for the calm that is not yet present. But the storm is not your enemy. The storm is preparation. It is nature itself reordering, creating the energy and conditions necessary for the renewal that comes afterward. Similarly, your current mid-shift state, this strange liminal space between who you were and who you are becoming, is part of your life's energetic realignment. The turbulence you feel inside is not a sign of failure, but a sign of recalibration, of transformation in motion. And here is the critical point: feeling behind does not mean you are behind. It simply means that your old self, the version of you that once found comfort in certainty, schedules, and predictable growth, is dissolving. The old self is releasing its grip, making room for something far greater, far more aligned with your soul's true trajectory. This is why life can feel confusing right now. This is why the steps forward seem unclear, the path uncertain, and your momentum stalled. You are not lost. You are mid-shift. And being mid-shift is where real transformation quietly, powerfully begins. So take a deep breath. Feel the tension that comes with comparison, with self-judgment, with the fear of being late in life. And then allow yourself to release it, gently, without forcing, without guilt. Recognize that you are not behind. You are exactly where you need to be, in the mysterious, sacred space where the unseen work is taking place. This space is not empty. It is full of subtle signals, invisible growth, and preparation for the reality that is readying itself to meet you. By the end of this video, you will begin to see your current struggles, your inner doubts, and your impatience in a completely new light. You will begin to understand that mid-shift is not a pause in life. It is life itself recalibrating at a level that ordinary perception cannot yet measure. And once you embrace this truth, you will begin to move not from fear, comparison, or lack, but from alignment, trust, and a profound sense of timing that is uniquely yours. Because the truth is simple yet revolutionary: you are not behind. You are mid-shift. And the shift you are undergoing is preparing you to step into a version of yourself, and a life, that is more authentic, more powerful, and more extraordinary than you have yet dared to imagine. Right now, you might be feeling a strange emptiness, a sense that nothing quite fits anymore. Your routines feel hollow, the things that once excited you no longer spark the same joy, and even your relationships may seem different, distant, or difficult in ways that confuse you. This is not a malfunction. This is not a punishment. What you are experiencing is what I like to call the mid-shift void, the space between the old version of you and the new one that is quietly, almost invisibly, emerging. It is in this void that everything feels unclear. You may ask yourself questions that have no immediate answers. What am I really meant to do? Who am I becoming? Why do I feel so restless when everything seems fine? And you may notice that motivation comes and goes like waves, leaving behind moments of inertia that can feel almost paralyzing. But these are not signs of failure. They are the natural rhythms of a mind and soul in transition. The old structures, the habits, beliefs, and identities that once guided you, are dissolving, and the new structures are not yet fully formed. That tension, that liminal space, is uncomfortable because the human mind craves certainty, yet certainty cannot exist in the fertile field of transformation. Think of it like a cocoon. From the outside, it appears that nothing is happening, that the caterpillar has stopped moving, that time has paused. But inside, every fiber is shifting, every structure is being rebuilt, and the creature is quietly reorganizing itself to emerge in a completely new form. You are in your own cocoon right now. The restlessness, the doubt, the disorientation, they are all signs that your internal wiring is being rewired, preparing you for a level of life and consciousness that your previous self could not have accessed. During this phase, you might also notice that your old desires feel shallow or meaningless. Perhaps the career you once chased, the goals you once measured yourself against, or even the social circles you once thrived in, no longer carry the same weight. This is a signal that your alignment is changing at a fundamental level. Your inner compass is recalibrating, guiding you toward experiences, people, and environments that better match your evolving energy. The things you once believed would define your success or happiness are losing their grip, making room for a life that is more authentic, more resonant, and more aligned with who you truly are becoming. And yet, here is where the mind struggles. The midshift void can feel like a limbo, a place of suspension where you are no longer anchored to your old identity but not yet fully integrated into the new one. You may feel anxious, frustrated, or impatient, wondering why the world doesn't yet reflect the changes you sense inside. You may compare yourself to others who seem to have it all together, forgetting that what you see on the surface rarely reflects the unseen internal processes at work. What appears as progress for others might have taken years of unseen shifts, quiet surrender, and moments of internal chaos just like yours. It is also common during this phase to experience heightened sensitivity. Emotions may feel amplified, interactions more intense, and the world may feel simultaneously too heavy and too light. This is your nervous system adjusting to a new frequency, an invisible recalibration that aligns your vibration with the reality that is being prepared for you. It is as if your soul is learning a new language, one that cannot yet be fully expressed in action but can be felt in subtle currents of awareness, intuition, and even bodily sensations. Pay attention to these signals. They are the breadcrumbs that guide you through the void. One of the most important things to understand about this midshift period is that external stagnation does not equal internal stagnation. You may feel stuck in your career, in relationships, or even in your personal goals. You may see others moving forward while you seem to stand still. But what is happening beneath the surface is profound. Your identity, perception, and energetic alignment are evolving. Your subconscious mind is rewiring belief systems, dissolving outdated fears, and recalibrating your internal compass to point toward a version of reality that resonates with your higher self. This work cannot be rushed, and it often feels invisible precisely because it is internal, quiet, and subtle. Here's the paradox. The more you fight the void, the slower the shift becomes. Trying to force clarity, control, or results only strengthens the old patterns, the old self, the old limitations. The midshift state requires a different approach: presence, observation, and surrender. Instead of asking, "Why am I stuck?" begin asking, "What is emerging in this stillness? What is being released? What new aspects of myself are quietly forming that I cannot yet see?" By shifting your perspective from resistance to curiosity, from fear to trust, you align yourself with the very process that is reshaping your reality. You may also notice synchronicities appearing in your life, small, subtle signs that you are on the right path. A conversation that suddenly resonates on a deep level, a book that appears at the perfect moment, or an idea that seems to come out of nowhere. These are not random events. They are markers of alignment, the universe's way of confirming that even in the void, progress is happening. The challenge is learning to recognize and trust these signs, rather than dismissing them in the haze of impatience or self-doubt. Remember, this midshift phase is not a defect in your life. It is life's way of preparing you for a leap that cannot be made from your old self. Just as a tree must shed leaves in the fall before new growth can emerge in spring, you too must release old structures, attachments, and expectations to make room for a life that aligns with your soul's true trajectory. The emptiness you feel now is fertile soil, not barren land. It is quiet preparation, invisible growth, and sacred transformation happening beneath the surface. So, as you navigate this liminal space, take a moment to honor where you are. Allow the uncertainty to exist without resistance. Notice the subtle shifts in your thoughts, emotions, and intuition. Trust that this void is not a punishment, not a delay, and not a failure. It is the hidden work that precedes the visible manifestation of your next reality. Your present confusion, your restlessness, and your lack of clarity are not obstacles. They are evidence that the internal alignment is in progress. When you fully understand this, you begin to move through life differently. You stop rushing. You stop forcing. You stop measuring yourself against timelines that were never yours. Instead, you move with the rhythm of your own unfolding, trusting that the shift is happening exactly as it should. And in time, the fog will lift, the path will clarify, and the life that is waiting for you will emerge. Not because you chased it, but because you allowed it to align with the deepest truth of who you are becoming. Now that you are beginning to understand the mid-shift void, it's time to explore what is actually happening beneath the surface. The invisible, almost imperceptible processes that quietly reorganize your life, identity, and reality. I like to call this the quantum repatterning phase. This is where your internal landscape, your beliefs, emotions, habits, and perceptions, undergoes a fundamental restructuring before the external world reflects any changes. It is a phase where patience is not optional, it is essential. Because the universe does not create outward manifestations first. It starts with the subtle, hidden shifts inside you. Think about it for a moment. Before a river changes course, the landscape beneath it must be reshaped. Rocks shift, sediments settle, and underground channels form. Only then can the river flow in a new direction. Similarly, your reality cannot fully transform until your internal frequency, your emotional alignment, and your identity have been repatterned at a quantum level. This is why, during this phase, it often feels like nothing is happening. You may take steps, set intentions, and yet see no tangible results. But in reality, your subconscious mind, your energy field, and your very perception of self are quietly preparing for a leap that is both inevitable and unstoppable. Quantum repatterning works in subtle ways. Your thoughts are reorganizing. Your habitual reactions are recalibrating. Your emotional patterns, the invisible currents that have dictated how you experience life, are being refined. And this refinement often brings discomfort. Old fears surface, past traumas may rise to the surface, and long-held limitations become impossible to ignore. But this discomfort is not a sign of regression. It is a sign of alignment in motion. Just as a sculptor must chip away excess stone to reveal the form within, you are shedding outdated beliefs and energy patterns to reveal the next version of yourself. It is during this phase that contrast framing becomes critical. You may find yourself comparing who you were to who you are becoming, noticing the differences with both curiosity and anxiety. The old self may have thrived on control, certainty, and external validation. The new self, however, is learning to trust intuition, embrace uncertainty, and align with an inner rhythm rather than a rigid timeline. These differences can feel unsettling because they challenge the familiar patterns your mind and body are accustomed to. Yet it is precisely this contrast that illuminates the areas of transformation, highlighting the distance traveled even when the external world seems unchanged. One of the most profound aspects of quantum repatterning is the shift from force-based manifestation to alignment-based manifestation. Many seekers try to push, hustle, or over-control their reality, believing that effort alone produces results. But true manifestation works differently. It begins with alignment. Your energy, your thoughts, and your emotions must be in resonance with the reality you wish to experience. The universe, at its deepest level, responds to vibrational alignment rather than surface-level action. This is why trying harder often delays results. It is not about doing more, it is about being more, being in alignment with the frequency of the life you are meant to live. During this phase, you might notice your desires subtly shifting. What once seemed urgent or necessary may now feel trivial or even misaligned. You may experience moments of clarity followed by doubt, excitement followed by hesitation. These oscillations are not signs of weakness. They are markers of your system recalibrating. Your mind and energy field are learning a new rhythm, teaching you to trust the process rather than cling to old measures of success. Each fluctuation is a subtle signal. The old patterns are releasing and the new patterns are quietly forming. It is also important to recognize the role of intuition during this phase. As your internal alignment strengthens, subtle nudges, hunches, and insights begin to appear more frequently. You may feel drawn to people, places, or ideas that previously held no interest. You may notice synchronicities, coincidences, or signs, that feel almost too precise to ignore. These are not random. They are the universe providing feedback, guiding you toward opportunities that match your evolving frequency. Learning to trust these signals is essential. The more you act from alignment rather than fear or obligation, the more the external world begins to mirror the internal shifts already taking place. Another layer of quantum repatterning is the realignment of your beliefs about yourself and the world. Your perception of what is possible, what is safe, and what is true is being recalibrated. Old stories that once defined your limitations, about money, love, success, or self-worth, may now feel constricting or false. As these narratives dissolve, space is created for new, expansive beliefs that support the reality you are stepping into. This is a subtle but profound process because it touches every aspect of your life: relationships, career, health, and personal fulfillment. Your external reality will only reflect the beliefs that have been fully integrated at this internal level. During this time, patience is your greatest ally. The mind wants immediate results, wants to measure progress in concrete ways, and wants reassurance that the effort is working. But quantum repatterning is rarely visible in the short term. The work is energetic, internal, and cumulative. Trust that the shifts are occurring even when your eyes cannot yet see them. Every emotion you process, every thought you release, and every subtle insight you integrate contributes to the unfolding of your next reality. You may also notice that during this phase, certain people, situations, or environments naturally begin to fall away. This is a natural and necessary part of alignment. The universe removes what no longer serves your highest frequency, making space for what truly resonates with the new version of yourself. It can feel lonely or uncomfortable, but this pruning is vital. Life is teaching you that growth does not come from accumulation, but from refinement. By releasing what no longer fits, you create the energetic capacity to receive what is aligned and necessary for your next chapter. Ultimately, the quantum repatterning phase is about trust. Trust in the unseen, trust in your own internal wisdom, and trust in the timing of your life. It is about understanding that the external world is a reflection of internal alignment, and that pushing or forcing only creates resistance. By cultivating presence, observing your inner landscape, and responding from alignment rather than fear, you allow the invisible structures of your reality to reform naturally. And when this work reaches its tipping point, the external world will begin to reflect the internal transformation in ways that feel almost miraculous. The beauty of this phase is that you are never truly idle. Even when it feels like nothing is happening, every shift, every recalibration, and every realignment is setting the stage for a life that is far more expansive, authentic, and powerful than you have yet imagined. You are not waiting. You are not stuck. You are actively, invisibly, and quantumly preparing for the next version of yourself. A version that will navigate life with clarity, purpose, and resonance. And so, as you move through this phase, honor the invisible work. Celebrate the subtle shifts. Pay attention to the signals, trust the process, and release the need for immediate results. Understand that this is the moment where your future reality is being quietly, meticulously crafted at a level that the ordinary eye cannot see. This is the essence of the quantum repatterning phase. The bridge between who you were and who you are becoming, the unseen architecture of a life aligned with your highest self. Even though you may not yet see the tangible results of your internal shifts, there are subtle signs all around you that indicate progress. These signs are often overlooked because they are quiet, internal, or counterintuitive. The universe communicates in whispers, not shouts, especially when you are mid-shift. Learning to recognize these signs is essential, because they are proof that your transformation is already underway, even if the external world hasn't yet caught up. One of the first signs is emotional sensitivity. You may notice that small events trigger stronger reactions than before. Perhaps a passing comment touches a deep chord, or a situation that would have once seemed trivial now evokes intense feelings. This heightened sensitivity is not a weakness, it is a recalibration. Your energetic boundaries are evolving, your empathy is expanding, and your perception is becoming more refined. What once went unnoticed is now illuminated, signaling that your inner awareness is sharpening in preparation for a higher frequency of life. Another common sign is the gradual loss of attachment to the past. You may find that old habits, routines, or even relationships no longer hold the same appeal. The activities or people that once defined your comfort zone may feel constraining or unaligned. This is a natural part of mid-shift evolution. By releasing what no longer serves you, you create space for experiences, relationships, and opportunities that resonate with the new version of yourself. Every letting go is a step toward alignment, and each release, no matter how small, is a powerful indicator that the shift is in motion. Clarity and confusion often arrive hand in hand during this stage. You might experience moments of profound insight, where everything feels aligned, and your path seems illuminated. Then, shortly afterward, doubt, fear, or uncertainty may return. This contrast is normal and essential. It reflects the process of your consciousness reconciling old beliefs with new possibilities. These fluctuations are not setbacks. They are the necessary oscillations that allow integration to occur. In fact, these cycles of clarity and doubt are often the precursors to breakthrough moments, moments where the alignment becomes undeniable and external manifestation begins to follow. Synchronicities, coincidences, and seemingly random events that feel meaningful are also key markers of progress. Perhaps you meet someone at exactly the right moment, a book falls into your hands that answers a question you didn't know how to ask, or a series of events aligns in a way that feels almost orchestrated. These moments are the universe's subtle way of confirming that your internal shifts are resonating with external reality. The more you notice and trust these synchronicities, the more your intuition strengthens, guiding you along a path that is uniquely yours. Physical sensations can also be a sign. You might experience bursts of energy, tingling, or restlessness, or a sense of expansion in your body. These sensations often accompany energetic realignment, as your body and nervous system adjust to the higher frequencies you are beginning to embody. Pay attention to these signals. They are the body's way of communicating that transformation is occurring on levels deeper than the mind can perceive. Another clear sign is the sudden feeling of ease or flow in certain areas of your life. Tasks that once felt laborious may now unfold effortlessly. Conversations may feel more authentic. Opportunities may appear with less struggle. These are the results of alignment starting to reflect outwardly, even in small, subtle ways. Recognize and celebrate them, because they are proof that your energetic recalibration is translating into tangible experience. It is important, however, to resist the urge to measure your progress against external standards or timelines. The signs of alignment are rarely dramatic or immediate. They are subtle, internal, and often contradictory. What may feel like stagnation is often preparation. What may feel like confusion is often integration. By interpreting these moments through the lens of alignment rather than fear, you shift from resistance to trust, from impatience to patience, and from anxiety to curiosity. This is the core skill of navigating midshift transformation. Learning to read the invisible markers and understand that even when nothing seems to be happening, everything is changing. Finally, you may notice a sense of internal authority emerging. The feeling that you know more about your path than you did before, even if it hasn't yet manifested externally. You begin to trust your instincts, your intuition, and your inner guidance over external validation or societal expectations. This growing inner trust is a powerful indicator that the repatterning is taking hold, preparing you to navigate the world from a place of alignment rather than reaction. All of these signs together form a quiet, steady signal. You are closer than you think. The life you are aiming for, the alignment you are seeking, is already in motion. The shift may feel slow, invisible, or incomplete, but the subtle markers, the emotional sensitivity, the letting go, the oscillations between clarity and doubt, the synchronicities, the physical sensations, and the emergence of inner authority, are all proof that your internal transformation is real and powerful. When you learn to recognize these signs, you stop judging yourself harshly for what hasn't yet manifested. You stop measuring yourself against timelines that aren't yours. You begin to trust the rhythm of your own unfolding, understanding that each subtle signal, each moment of insight, and each shift in perception is evidence that the shift is real. You are no longer waiting for the universe to catch up. You are already in alignment, and the external world is gradually reflecting this alignment back to you. So, if you find yourself in doubt, if the world seems unclear or your progress invisible, take a moment to look inward. Notice the signs. Feel the subtle shifts. Trust the quiet moments, the synchronicities, and the small bursts of clarity that punctuate your day. They are the universe's way of telling you that you are midshift, and that the transformation is already happening. Even if it doesn't look like it yet, you are moving toward a reality that is more aligned, more authentic, and more powerful than you can currently imagine. As we reach the culmination of this journey, it is important to pause and reflect on what it truly means to be midshift. You have learned that the periods of uncertainty, restlessness, and doubt are not obstacles or failures. They are essential phases of transformation, vital stages of your life's unfolding. They are the invisible scaffolding that supports the emergence of your new self. And the most profound lesson is that this process cannot be rushed, controlled, or forced. Your life is not behind schedule. The external markers, the timelines, the comparisons, all of these are illusions when measured against the deeper, unseen rhythm of your personal evolution. The shift is already occurring within you quietly, subtly, and powerfully. Each moment of introspection, each release of old patterns, and each alignment with your inner truth contributes to the creation of a reality that is more authentic, expansive, and harmonious than you have yet imagined. Now is the time to embrace patience and presence. Stop striving to force the next chapter and instead become available to it. This does not mean inaction. It means aligning your energy, observing your inner growth, and trusting that the universe is orchestrating the necessary conditions for your manifestation. By letting go of fear, comparison, and impatience, you allow the natural flow of life to guide you, making space for clarity, synchronicities, and opportunities to emerge effortlessly. Trust that every subtle signal, the moments of clarity, the signs of alignment, the emotional shifts, and even the uncomfortable oscillations, is evidence that you are on the right path. The mid-shift phase may feel like a limbo, but it is, in reality, a sacred passage. It is where your identity is being refined, your beliefs repatterned, and your perception recalibrated. Every internal shift is laying the foundation for external transformation. As you move forward, carry this awareness with you. You are not behind. You are mid-shift, and this is exactly where you need to be. Allow yourself to release the urgency to catch up or to measure yourself against anyone else's timeline. Instead, honor your unique journey, trust your internal rhythm, and remain receptive to the subtle guidance of your intuition. The life that is meant for you is unfolding, and the alignment you seek is already in motion. So take a deep breath, feel the energy of your own becoming, and allow yourself to move through life with grace, patience, and trust. Know that the next version of yourself is already forming, and when the time is right, the world will reflect it fully. You are not late, you are not stuck, and you are not failing. You are exactly where you are meant to be, mid-shift in the sacred space of transformation, ready to step into a reality that is far greater than you have yet imagined.